Well, today is November 20th, 2017, and we got this bull calf jersey. Now, I just got him today, and the light is poor in the barn here, so let me just go this way here. We just got him today, and I was going to keep him for breeding, but what I've been reading up, and maybe somebody can help me on this one, because I've never ever had a Jersey bull before, uncastrated, and I want to keep, my intentions were to keep this one for breeding, but today I was informed that these are hospital trips. They're very, very vicious, aggressive, and worse than a Holstein, and hospital trips. Now, anybody out there ever had a Jersey bull uncastrated to keep for breeding, and what their experience with them are? Because I'd love to keep this one to breed with that limo cross that I have, which is out here in the yard. They've been turned loose in the yard. I don't know where she is. What's the matter? Eh? There she is right there. It's a limo cross. I just turned them loose outside here a few days ago, along with the Jersey cross heifer down, our bull down there laying on the ground. They're still on milk replacer. This guy, she's a real lovey-dovey, this one. And I was hoping to breed that Jersey bull with her, but I was told today that not to do so. I let her suck because she's eating good on her own, so just to give her some comfort. But she's been eating hay and grain and stuff like that. The chickens are over there making noise, and these guys are pigging out on hay over here. And oh, she's headbutting me now. You ever see this? You know, look at a straw bale. They've eaten that much of a straw bale. And the other straw bale that was over there, was a third of the bale left, and they ate that. The whole thing. They cleaned it up and left their hay over there. So I got them on here. It's been a hell of a thing around here. The last few days it's been stressful as hell. When I brought this trailer down here with the hay on, it was really mild and snowing, and I tried to go over there by the root cellar and come down the hill here on the road, and I tried to turn over that way and then back it in here along the side where the blue salt block is. But the back end of the trailer caught the ground down the valley there, just past the T-post there, and you can see my skid marks all over the ice on the hill there, trying to pull it forward, and I couldn't pull it forward, so I tried to back it up, and I couldn't back it up, and the hill is so icy, the whole truck just slid down sideways, and I basically spun around and was facing this direction. So I figured, well, I'll pull the trailer in here, and I'll back it in over there. Well, I got this far, and I couldn't back it up. And what are you doing? Eh? What are you doing? Eating my coat? Eh? Eating my coat? Yeah. So anyway, I unhooked the trailer, and then I tried to I pulled forward a little bit. that way, and then I couldn't back the truck up because it was so icy here in four-wheel drive. Then the whole truck slid sideways right against the tree right there. It didn't touch the tree. I could pass a cigarette package between it. So I got the plow truck fired up for the first time this year, and I yanked the truck this way towards me, and then I tried to pull it back that way, and I could not pull it because the one front wheel had dropped over the edge right there. And then the plow truck, I put another new starter in it, and it just still won't engage. I got to crank the engine over by hand with a strap wrench and put it in a certain position, and then it'll crank over. But then it ran out of gas, and so I got no gas gauge on it, just that big steel tank on the back there that has gas in it. And it being it's on a downhill there, I had put 5 gallons in before I even come down here, but being it's downhill, the back end of the truck, it's the pickup at this end of the tank, it wouldn't pick it up. So between fighting trying to get the ring gear in a place to start, I think there's probably burrs on the ring gear. I'm gonna have to take the pan off the bottom and take a grinder with a zip disc on it and probably clean up some burrs on the ring gear, because that's what the other starter was doing too. It would just engage, and it would sound like it's grinding against something, and I thought it was the Bendix not working properly, and I put another starter in, it's still doing the same thing. But if I put a strap wrench on the harmonic balancer and turn the harmonic balancer, 3/4 of a turn, then I can crank it over. And but it's out of gas still right now. So I phoned everybody I could think of that always said, if you ever need anything, just give me a shout. I needed a ride to the store to get gas and some milk and coffee and stuff like that. Everybody I called, either they didn't answer their phone and didn't return my messages. And I had to get to the corner store, which is about 5 kilometers away, and to get gas. So my truck sat here all that night, and the next morning I tried calling people to give me a ride, and somebody that would drive this truck, because I was pulling at dead weight, being I don't have a driver, because I live alone here, and I was trying to get somebody to give me a ride and a driver to drive my truck backwards in 4-low. Well, I yanked with that truck, couldn't get nobody. So I got right peed off, and I took the power saw with a little bit of gas in the tank, and I cut all this brush down. It was all 2-3 inch poplars down into the pasture down there, but there's a big steep hill. It's very short, but it's the D8 bulldozer I had here basically just pushed clay from up on top of the hill, and it leveled it off over there. It's about 3 feet up, and from settling, it's in one spot there. It's a little bit of a ramp, but not much. So I carved it really hard to clear that tree, and my front bumper just rubbed that tree as I turned. And I gave her gusto all the way, as I got going, I gave her gusto all the way in 4-low. I shot up that bank, and I went up by the swing set there and up that other hill. Wild coyote with my truck. And this calf, this limo cross here, she's a doll, this one. And I did name her I did give her that name. What was it now? I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me in a second here. Hey. But she always wants my attention. Every time I come down here, she's right on me right away. And then I have a calf down in the barn. It won't stand. And I believe it's a deficiency of vitamin E and selenium. So I just gave him an injection of selenium. And he's been sort of difficulty breathing and a little raspy in the lungs, so I gave him this here for respiratory problems. I give him 4 cc's of this, and I'll give it to him for 3 days in a row, 4 cc's. And I gave him a vitamin E shot, 1 cc of vitamin E. And then I gave him another shot of selenium that all the calves that I get, as soon as I get them, I give them this right here. I just gave him 3 cc's of this. Don't ever give this into the muscle, always under the skin, because some calves are allergic to it, and if you give it into the muscle, they'll drop dead in like 30 seconds on you. So give it under the skin, and it's even recommended by the vet to do that, because calves have been known to just drop dead if you give it intramuscular. So just under the skin, and the same thing with this one here, under the skin, and the vitamin E under the skin. And with this one here, don't give penicillin with it. You'll kill the calf if you give penicillin at the same time injection. You know, wait at least 4 hours before you give this for respiratory problems. And he was a spunky calf, and he went down and he won't stand up, and for many days I would stand him up and he'd walk around, and that night he'd be down again, or sometimes he wouldn't be down, and then Saturday he went down, and I basically have him there bundled up. Get your head out of there. Oh. Basically I have him bundled up right here. He won't stand. I got him bundled up in straw. Even though this calf is trying to eat my phone. this here limo, she's trying to eat my phone. I don't know why the light's not coming on this phone. Yeah. And so yeah, that's a Jersey bull that I got. So I want to keep for breeding. So if anybody can tell me if Jersey bulls are really that dangerous. I've had Jersey bulls but castrated, and they were fine. And I'd love to keep him for a breeder to breed her. This limo cross here. It's sucking on my finger. But he's been down now completely since Saturday. All last week. Not this guy, but this guy here. This guy laying down. For a week prior to that, every morning I'd have to stand him up, and then he'd be good all day, or sometimes by nightfall when I'd come down to feed him, he would be laying down. And last Thursday, I come down to feed him, and he was up, and he was spunky as all hell. And Saturday morning I came down here to feed him, and he was laying down, and I tried to stand him up, and he wouldn't even try. He wouldn't even straighten his legs out. And then this morning I've been giving him penicillin, and thinking that he's maybe got pneumonia because his lungs are a little bit raspy sounding. And but I come to the conclusion that he's deficient in vitamin E and selenium, which I find it hard because every calf that comes here, they get a selenium shot. And a deficiency in vitamin E and selenium basically attacks the muscles and deteriorates the muscles. And it deteriorates the muscles around the lungs, which gives them respiratory-like symptoms, but it's the muscles around it. But to safeguard it that he hasn't got pneumonia, I'm also giving him that respiratory injection as well as a selenium and a vitamin E shot. And I'll repeat that selenium in another 3 days with another 3 cc's. And then I'll wait 7 days and I'll do another 3 cc's and 7 days after the 3 days. But I'll give him the respiratory 4 cc's every day for the next 3 days. And see how he recovers, if he recovers at all. He's too small to slaughter. And he's the one that I never did castrate because I was going to keep him as a bull for breeding, because that's a heifer there, and well, she's a heifer, this one here, but I wouldn't breed that Holstein with her. She is so adorable, this one here. And yeah, I named her the name I said in the last video there. It just won't come to me right now because this week has been just one stressful week. One thing after another has gone haywire. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that old plow truck because I need that for plowing snow. I can't afford to buy another one. I wish I had the money to buy a tractor, but I have to do everything by hand. And my forklift, I got to get the chains on it yet because it won't go anywhere on this snow and ice. And it's a bugger to start in the winter time because I don't have a warm place to put it in, and there's no block heater on it, and no place to put a block heater. So I have all I could find for it was a 200-watt magnetic heater that I stick onto the oil pan with a forklift. And if it's really cold out, it won't start, even with that. So I have it in that tent shed up at the house there, which I have a big furnace in there. It's out of somebody's basement. They gave it to me years ago. It's one of those wood furnaces you put in the basement and hook beside your regular furnace. So I could always light a fire in there, and I can get it up to 30 below zero in that tent tarp garage there. I can get it up to like 68, 70 degrees in there in, in an hour and a half, 2 hours. Fairly quick, but it'd still take a whole night to warm it up to where it would start. And you were just being a real bugger, eh? Yes, you're just being a real bugger. You want my attention all the time. So that's the New Jersey today. Jersey Bull. So if somebody can tell me what a Jersey Bull uncastrated is like, what their mentality is, but I was told today by a guy that they're vicious as hell and they're a trip to the hospital, so I don't know. I'm willing to take a gamble on it, and because I've worked with cows in a slaughterhouse for years, 3 years when I was in my teens, in my early 20s, and I've had everything from Brahma bulls, and that was a scary situation. That one, he ripped the whole Brahma bull. We stunned him, and he friggin' went down. And by the time I went around to use the hoist to open the door to roll out on the kill floor, he had gotten up, and he basically ripped the 5/8 anchors right out of the block wall, angle iron and all. And he was bunting these veal calves that we had hanging on the rail. He was bunting them all over the place, and then he spotted he spotted the government inspector, and he tore off down the kill floor towards him, and the government inspector ran down into the weigh station area and into the chilling cooler. And Brahma Bull went running down there after, and it was a downhill slope, and he slipped. It was all wet, and the concrete floor was all wet and painted, and the floor was painted, but it was wet and it was slippery as hell, and he wiped out on there, and he went sliding down there and slammed into the concrete block wall, and he got up and he was just vicious as heck. We had to take him down with a 30-06. That was the most vicious bull I ever seen. It was from the old Fort William in Thunder Bay, Ontario here. From the old Fort William. It's basically a little village set up back in the pioneer days, in the trading days, and stuff like that. And we used to get a lot of sows from them, and sheep and goats and all kinds of stuff. So again, if you'd like to help support to feed the families in need, that's where all this meat goes. Same with the eggs and stuff, and shelter houses and stuff like that. Yeah, please use the PayPal link below for any donations you'd like to make, and put on the notes in there whether you'd want your name mentioned or not. It would be very muchly appreciated. Thank you very much, and have a great day, and be safe. We've been sitting at -4 to -6 in the daytime here, and -9 and 10 at night. We were down last week, -18 at night, and it was pretty chilly. So take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.